All right, chat. So people had mentioned it yesterday or the day before in chat. Um, it appears that Blizzard is intent on going with Cataclysm as the next expansion. I am of the belief that this is just a terrible mistake. I believe that they have to relaunch vanilla, and I'm going to tell you why. Well, the main reason is because I think overwhelmingly people want vanilla, fresh vanilla, actual fresh vanilla, not Classic Plus, not Season Mastery, none of that crap. Season Mastery was basically Classic Plus, and it was an absolute disaster because Blizzard does not know how to develop their game anymore. They've proven that with retail. They just don't know what the hell they're doing, and they are just completely out of touch with what people in the Classic community want. Like they literally to this day are still saying you think you do, but you don't. That's basically how they're treating this. And the fact that they don't see that so many people now want Classic Fresh, again, and yes, I get it. We just did it 3 years ago, but look at the private server scene. Every year or two, they would have a Classic Fresh, and every time another private server came out with it, it was bigger and more popular than it was before. Classic Fresh would be bigger than Cataclysm. And the main reason why is the Classic community despises Cataclysm. They don't want to play it. They don't like the game. They don't like what it did to the game. And if they do not come up with Classic Fresh, you will immediately see the rise of private servers once again. Immediately. I would not be surprised. In fact, I encourage someone to do this, whether it's White Kidney or whomever, to, if they announce Cataclysm, which it appears that that's the direction they're going to go, launch a fresh vanilla server, fresh private server, fresh vanilla private server on the exact same day as Cataclysm. That's what I'd do. Launch it on the exact same day. But I was going to make a video where I was just kind of going over everything in the article, but StaySafe's already done it. He posted this like 3 days ago, so we'll sit here and watch this one as well. Let's see. So anyways, those of you that are watching on YouTube, post down below what you would prefer to play, whether it's vanilla or whether it's Cataclysm. I don't think they're going to do both. I would be extremely surprised if they did both, because then that would split the community. Let me know if you'd in the comments below if you'd rather play Fresh or Cataclysm. Those of you that are watching live on Twitch right now, let me know in the comments as well. Anyways, let's Fresh Vanilla Project is already on the move. Yeah, but that's coming out in like 2 months, dude. I'm talking about one that is like, that one's going to be come and gone by the time Cataclysm comes out. Like, I'm talking about one that launches on the exact same day as Cataclysm, an actual private server. Let's watch this video here.
World of Warcraft Classic Cataclysm survey.
Hold on. I've got to change the scene here because for some reason with the Windows update, it doesn't here we go. The Stream Deck doesn't work. So
World of Warcraft Classic Cataclysm survey sent out by Blizzard, posted 12 minutes ago. Let's see what is going on. So they've done, prior to TBC coming out and prior to Wrath coming out, they sent out surveys, but it was much closer. Like, this is really early that they are doing this. And of course, yeah, I think anyone with a...
I'm wondering if they're doing it early because they need to get a gauge as to whether or not people actually want to play Cataclysm, or if they should go back to vanilla. I haven't actually looked at the server yet. Somebody mentioned that they talk about TBC, Wrath, but they don't mention anything about vanilla. I wonder if they already know that vanilla would just be that popular. I'm not, for those of you that are like all getting aggro in like watching the YouTube video, I'm not saying that it's going to be as popular as original classic vanilla. It's not. There's no way. But would it be more popular than Cataclysm? I think for sure it would be. I don't even think it would be close. Same thing as when I said that Wrath is going to be way more popular than TBC. I had people in my chat arguing with me to no end. And it's going to be way larger. People are already seeing this. So I think, honestly, like, I don't know. We'll have to see what it says. But I'm wondering if they're maybe considering it.
With a IQ over 85 probably predicted them to do Classic Cata after Classic Wrath. What is surprising to me today, though, is that they're talking about it so soon. Blizzard has sent out a survey to World of Warcraft players asking for their feedback on Cataclysm Classic. In the survey, topics range from what the user liked or disliked about Cataclysm, as well as what changes they would like to see. That's a great approach, because there are a lot of things about Cataclysm that I think a lot of people were not so happy about.
Like
namely, Dragon Soul,
the zones. leave the zones alone.
Raid Finder. I gotta say though, the first half of Cataclysm, I think was pretty good. Like really, I'm not really a fan of the way they overhauled the vanilla world. I think the vanilla WoW zone design is much better than.
I absolutely hate. I absolutely hate it. Every time I was playing retail and I'd fly over 1,000 needles, I'd just get angry.
And the Cata zone design, but I'm talking about the raids, the raid battlegrounds, class design. It was fine. Like Firelands was good. Twilight Bastion or whatever it's called was good. Bastion Twilight, whatever it's called. The images in this article were sent to Wowhead user by Lord of Otakus. Thanks for the tip. Back in April of last year, Asmongold interviewed Ian has a coach.
You think Wrath is going to be a huge L compared to expectations? Maybe your expectations are a little high, but I mean, Wrath is going to be way bigger than TBC. Like it's going to be way bigger than TBC.
Hostess and asked about what might happen after Wrath of the Lich King. In the interview timestamped here, Mr. Hazakostas seemed very interested in hearing what players wanted to come after Wrath, even asking if players would want to start over, try a different version of Wrath, or continue into Cataclysm. And Ian continues, for many classic players, Cataclysm is the beginning of the end, and Ian wants to know, which this survey covers, what is it about Cataclysm that the players don't like? So let me see what. So I'm just.
I'll start off. It's not vanilla. that's one. It's not a classic version of the game. That's
gonna read through these questions here. These are the survey.
It's when Raid Finder came in too. Is that not correct? Like classic players hate Raid Finder, like absolutely despise it.
Survey questions themselves. What country do you live in?
They hate the changing of the zones. Absolutely despise it.
In U.S., France, Germany, China. I do not live in any of these countries.
Yeah, where's Canada on here, by the way? Where's Canada?
How old are you? It's funny, like they picked these are the most important countries. If you don't live in the US, France, Germany, or China, you don't matter to Blizzard, I guess. I don't know. How old are you? Okay, various age demographics. What is your gender? Male, female, non-binary, prefer to self-describe.
Body type 1.
Answer.
Body type 1.
What of the following devices, if any, do you currently own and actively use to play video games? PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, etc. Okay. How many hours would you estimate you play
these
more of the
important
consoles in a typical month? And then you punch in a number.
PC, how many hours? Well over 200. Easily, probably close to 250 or 300.
Okay. How would you rate your enjoyment?
I streamed for over 220 hours last month or something.
Enjoyment in each of the following video games: sports, FIFA, sandbox, open world action games, simulation, massive multiplayer. So the entirety of this thing is not directly relating to Cataclysm. From which of the following video game franchises, if any, would you never want to play a game from?
Never.
Scroll. It's weird. Blizzard is asking people how they feel about The Witcher, about Elden Ring. It makes you wonder, is Blizzard planning a game similar to Elden Ring, or a game like in the same genre as Elder Scrolls or Fortnite or Elden Ring? It makes you wonder why they're collecting data about these games that aren't even their own, right? Interesting indeed. We have heard about the Blizzard survival game. This is maybe 4 or 5 months ago. There was a big leak. Actually, it wasn't a leak. Blizzard, it's on the Blizzard site. Blizzard is making a survival game.
I thought they canceled it. Did they not cancel it? I thought that was like the big news that they canceled it.
What that exactly means, when you say survival, you think of like Rust or, similar games like that. So who knows? Who knows? But they are doing a survival game. We talked about that before. Which of the following games, if any, have you ever played? Elden Ring, Diablo,
Let's see. Played, not played, played for an hour. Not played, played.
Hearthstone, Elden Ring, StarCraft, Warcraft 3, Elder Scrolls, whatever. Okay, so cool. World of Warcraft. Which of the following best describes your current experience with the games? They're listing various games here. World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Warcraft 3, Overwatch.
The only games I played here in the last 365 days would be World of Warcraft.
Final Fantasy. It's funny. Which of the reminder, the question is, which of the following describes your current experience with the games below? Every single game listed here,
except Final Fantasy.
Game, other than Final Fantasy 14. I'm telling you, Final Fantasy 14 is really on Blizzard's radar. I'm telling you, what was it? It was probably 10 months ago.
It was a little while ago. I think World of Warcraft, like between the two classic and retail, I believe World of Warcraft is now retaken the lead. I think that's last I heard. I don't have any actual like data on that, but somebody had mentioned that World of Warcraft is actually the leading game again, but I could be wrong.
Ago, when the massive WoW exodus happened, when a lot of people quit WoW and they were playing Final Fantasy 14, that hurt Blizzard. That really hit Blizzard. A lot of retail players, specifically Shadowlands players, they quit. They went to Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 14 really hurt retail WoW. That is true. It's definitely on their radar. So that's the one game they specifically ask about here that was not that's not a Blizzard game. The next one, thinking about the past 30 days, which statement below best describes how you distributed your time between World of Warcraft Shadowlands and World of Warcraft Classic Burning Crusade? So I spent more time playing Modern Shadowlands, or I spent more time playing Burning Crusade Classic.
Obviously Burning Crusade. I haven't even touched Shadowlands.
So they're seeing which version amongst the people they're asking is more popular. Okay. How likely are you to purchase, play, or subscribe to each of the following games in the future? Overwatch, Elden Ring, Hearthstone, Final Fantasy, StarCraft, Diablo, Elder Scrolls, Witcher 3, Fortnite, World of Warcraft, Lich King, World of Warcraft, Dragonflight, Warcraft 3, on a scale of definitely would to definitely wouldn't. Maybe, probably. Okay, all right. And now we get to the Cataclysm section. The survey now turns to specifics about World of Warcraft Classic Cataclysm. World of Warcraft Classic will be bringing back Wrath of the Lich King in 2022. After World of Warcraft Classic, Wrath of the Lich King comes out, what would you like to see World of Warcraft Classic team do next? And you just get to write whatever you want. It's just an essay answer, okay? The expansion is the next question. The expansion after the original Wrath of the Lich King Classic was Cataclysm. We would like to get your feedback on the features and systems introduced in the Cataclysm expansion. If you're familiar with WoW and Cataclysm, please think about the expansion as it was when it was originally released and separate it from systems and features that you may be familiar with in modern WoW Shadowlands or the current Classic releases, WoW Classic and Burning Crusade. Okay, there's a little preface there. How familiar are you with the original 2010 release of Warcraft Cataclysm?
Extremely. I played it.
Familiar, not familiar, moderately. Okay.
What do I want to see after? I want to see fresh vanilla. Plain and simple. I want to see fresh vanilla. I know there's people that are like, we've already done that, but I'm telling you, there are more people that want to play fresh vanilla than Cataclysm. If you were to pull Classic players, I talk to them all day in my stream. I read forums, etc., etc. There are people itching, dying to play fresh vanilla again. It's that popular. It will always be that popular. Now, if you're somebody that's watching this video and you're like, I don't agree, that's fine. That's just your opinion. But you can't deny the fact that there's like a massive number of people that want to play fresh vanilla. Fresh vanilla, I didn't say with changes. No, without changes. Fresh vanilla, period. Leave it the way it is. Don't let Blizzard touch it, because as soon as they do, you've got Season of Mastery all over again, and it's an absolute disaster. And why? Because Blizzard is so out of touch with what their customer base actually wants. In fact, Blizzard already self-determines what they want to do with the game, and then they'll throw out a survey like this with a bunch of questions just to kind of verify what they already think. I think if you were to actually make it the answer, what would you like to see after Wrath Classic, and give it in bullet point form, what would you like to see next? Cataclysm Classic and Vanilla Classic, I think Vanilla would win overwhelmingly. I think it would win in a landslide. So let me know where you go. If they don't have fresh Vanilla, I'm going to a private server. There's no doubt about it. And I know that like virtually everyone that I know has no interest playing in Cataclysm. And we're talking people that live all over the world and they want to go to like vanilla. And if Blizzard isn't going to supply it, then they're going to go to a private server. And if Blizzard isn't going to supply it, that means that the rise of private servers is going to come up again. And there's going to be, tens of thousands of people playing on a private server of all things. So, no, we already had Classic Plus. It was called Season of Mastery, and it was absolute trash. Like, why is this so hard to understand? Blizzard does not know how to develop their game anymore. They've proven it over and over and over again. Why would you ever want to say, here, take vanilla, which is our favorite version of the game, and develop it? Do something different with it. Because I'm not saying that there is maybe some things that that couldn't be done better, but they will F it up. They will absolutely screw it up. Season of Mastery was not the same. What do you mean it's not the same? It was harder content. What do you want? Like a different dungeon and Blizzard to be allowed to screw that up? It's completely the same, man. Blizzard has no idea. They are so out of touch with their customer base that they have no idea how to develop it so it would actually be popular with the players. Like, they're so out of touch, man.
Below are the features that were introduced in Cataclysm. Take a moment to read through the features and their descriptions. Press the button below to continue once you've familiarized yourself with the content. They added 10 new dungeons, 2 new playable races, 5 new raids, 7 new zones, account-wide mounts and pets, archaeology secondary profession. Archaeology was kind of fun when it first came out. I think archaeology has not really aged well. They don't do much with it these days, but archaeology was kind of cool in early Cata. I kind of liked it. I remember trying to get the blue scarab mount, and there were some cool items. There were some BIS items, like there was a trinket you could get. Anyway, you could get
6. I can't argue. Like I can't point it. Like, how do you explain the mass exodus of players that went to? I played Season Mastery, dude. Like 95% of the player base abandoned the game within like 2 months. Does that not tell you enough? Like, I don't know how else to like debate this with you other than just throw like facts and figures in your face. And like, I don't know what else do you want? It was absolute trash. Season of Mastery. Did they do a couple of neat things with the raid? Sure. But otherwise, literally every decision that they made was absolute garbage. And you can start with the first one that they made was that it was only going to be a year long, which basically eliminated all casuals from playing the game because they could not keep up. The second one was allowing PvP battlegrounds to be in from launch. Why? Because then suddenly everybody was just grinding honor. Like, this is all stuff that we went over when they announced Season of Mastery and the changes that they were making. All stuff that we talked about here, and I made a video about that the developers themselves told me they actually watched. And you know what they said was, well, we'll see how it goes. Like, they don't want to listen to people at all. They have no concept as to like how some of these changes are going to affect the game. And that's why you've got such a trash game in retail, because they don't listen to people. And that's why there was at one point when there was 13 million people playing this game, and now there's how many people are playing retail now? Probably less than 2 million. Right? Season Mastery, for me, I couldn't dedicate my whole time to it. Just like the casual player realized within a month that they could not keep up to everyone else. And this is all stuff that Blizzard was told. They don't care. You know why they made the decision to make it once a year? They were hoping it would work that way because of the financials, their quarterly reports. That's literally the only thing that they cared about. They didn't give a shit about you or me or how it was going to affect the game. They literally made the decision based on what was going to look better, hopefully, for the financials. And guess what? It backfired on them because 95% of the player base abandoned the game within 2 months. Because they can't take their heads out of their asses and actually make a decision that's based on what's best for the player base. Like, that's Blizzard's That's 99% of Blizzard's problem outside of the sexual assault stuff.
Get the Zin Rock sword. Yeah, I remember that. So the next thing is changes to player versus player arenas, changes to professions, class design changes, collection user interface. I think the collections user interface was actually a very good change. Dungeon journal. A lot of the stuff no one really it's all fine. Guild advancement system. The guild leveling system was really bad. It was really, really bad. It really incentivized you to just have these giant mass Zerg guilds where you had just hundreds of people farm guilds. Yeah, farming gold for the sake of your guild bank.
Raid Finder, the classic community can't stand Raid Finder. I mean, they're going to look at this and say, yeah, no, we don't want Cataclysm. Tol Barad, I used to kind of have fun in Tol Barad. That's when I first started playing a Boomkin, basically. And I just sit in there and just kill people, basically. Transmogs.
Passively farming income for you. And then also, like, if you didn't have people that were doing stuff, then you were not going to level up your guild. There were guild perks. So, yeah, you were incentivized to have just these, like, disgustingly giant guilds. Level cap increased up to...
Wrath has more people playing than retail now. There will be more people playing Wrath at launch than Dragonflight at launch. I'm telling you that right now. There are more people playing TBC right now than there are playing retail, and there will be way more people playing Wrath at launch than will play Dragonflight at launch.
85.
You feel like the general consensus is hell no? Yeah, true. If I had to choose between Cataclysm and Classic Plus, I'd say, you know what, let's give Classic Plus a try. Like, I'd be like, okay, let's give it a try, even though I really, really don't want Classic Plus. Because I think overwhelmingly the vanilla, the classic community that's been around for years, the private server community, they'll always want to play fresh vanilla. The level that, I mean, take a look at these fresh servers that we have now. Look how popular they are. Everybody loves that rush up. It's some of the most favorite best time in the entire game.
Minor quality of life changes. For example, AoE looting, improved flight paths, spell alert for procs, ammunition no longer taking bag space, questing and leveling changes. Raid Finder.
That's
going
to be despised.
You guys know I'm not a fan of Dungeon Finder also.
Yeah, neither am I.
Man, I would, dude, I think
hey, Stay Safe agrees with me. He's a smart dude.
RBGs are great. Like, really, if we were ever to get a new...
You know what? Okay, I will give Cata one thing. Rated Battlegrounds are a lot of effing fun. I love Rated Battlegrounds, actually. So I could see that if I was to play Cata, if for some reason this is something I would actually really enjoy. In fact, if they were going to make a Classic Plus, this is one item that I would be like, you know what? I could maybe enjoy rated RPGs. Like, if you had more people than, say, 5 in a group, you had to be queued up for Rated Battlegrounds, and that's you could do the High Warlord grind in Rated Battlegrounds as well. I would actually, I'm very much a no changes type of guy, but RBGs in Classic, if they announce that, I'd be like, okay, you know what? Let's give this one a go.
New Classic Plus, Classic Vanilla Plus. Here's my take: replace the vanilla ranking system with an RBG system. Get rid of the hyper degenerate vanilla WoW ranking system and just replace it with RBGs. Genuinely, give us vanilla WoW RBGs. Cool.
In fact, I could tell you right now, if they ever had an RBG system, I could actually see my guild tyrants immediately going back to being focused on PvP. We'd still do the raiding and stuff like that, but RBGs in Classic would be a lot of effing fun. These hardcore streamers I've watched for years have never talked about WoW, and now I see them streaming and playing WoW because of how these hardcore League of Legends streamers. I don't even know any League of Legends streamers, Tagora.
Anyway, but we're talking about Cata now. So RBG's cool. Anyway, reforging. All right. Okay. Talent system changes. Streamlined 31 talent point trees. Tolbrad. I gotta say, coming out of Wintergrasp, which was totally awesome in Wrath, going into Tolbrad, Tolbrad sucked.
It did suck.
Tolbrad, actually sucked so hard.
The only thing that I liked about Tol Barad was the waiting area that you had, that while you were waiting for Tol Barad to start, and you had the dailies there, and a group of friends and I, we all created Boomkin Druids, and we just go in there and annihilate people. Like, we'd come out of stealth and they'd be dead before they even knew someone was casting on them, and we just sit in there for hours and hours all day long doing this.
Compared to Winter Grasp. Transmog, ability to change the appearance, unified raid lockout changes. I'll say this. If they're going to have Transmog in Cata, they should make it retail-style Transmog. Transmog, the way it worked in early Cata, or actually just during the entirety of Cata, was really, really annoying. If they added retail-style Transmog, where the Transmogs don't take up bag space, and you have a collection tab, and you can go back and like farm Transmog.
No. The Chrono Boon is absolutely terrible, 6. No. Come on. Look at all the world PvP that you'd lose because the Chrono Boon was in the game. The Chrono Boon, I would maybe be okay with if you only were able to activate it once you got into town, and you had to activate it before you left town to go to the raid. I would maybe be okay with that. But having Chrono Boon so that you can like just save it and then not have to ever, and then only activate it once you get into raid. No. Not on a PvP server. Maybe on a PvE, but not on a PvP server. There's no chance that can fly. I just explained to you how the Chrono Boon is terrible. Do I need, like, how do I repeat myself? The amount of world PvP that you lose from people that are going out and trying to kill people that have world buffs on and stuff like that? No. You know what we used to do, 6? We used to go sit in front of AQ 40 and wipe raid after raid after raid that was coming in. And I'm saying, if you made it so that you had to apply the Chrono Boon once you got back into town from getting all your buffs, and then you had to reapply that Chrono Boon before you left town for the raid, then I might be okay with it. But if you don't like the fact that your buffs are being wiped out or whatever, go play on Peggle. But you cannot bring Chrono Boon in on a PvP server. No, 6. There would be way less. There's not people running around in Feralus and trying to wipe people of their buffs because they just save it to some stupid device. Go play on Peggle. I'm not even kidding, man. If you don't want your world buffs to be wiped, go play on Peggle. It's that simple. You don't need a Chrono Boon device if you're worried that you're gonna have to save, log your character out. Then fine, allow the Chrono Boon to work once you get into town. Not while you're running around and collecting them, and not being able to apply. You have to apply them before you leave town. Otherwise, raids are not going to be able to compete against each other to get to the raid and wipe people out and wipe out their tanks, buffs, and all that stuff. If you're worried about you losing your buffs before you get to raid, go play on Peggle. It's that simple. If you want to play on a PvP server and not lose your world buffs, etc., don't. Exactly. Go play on PvE server with other like-minded individuals. Exactly. Another example of somebody who should not be on a PvP server. It is really such an easy thing to solve for you. If you're worried about losing your world buffs, go play on a PvE server. It is really simple. Right? You don't need a balance of no world buffs and world buffs. Like, just leave it the way it is. And that way, guilds are competing against each other in order. You know what? Some of the funnest things in Classic was when everybody was trying to compete for world first and doing best for raids and stuff like that, and you were deliberately going out and wiping the enemy's raids so that they wouldn't get as good of raid times as you did. Now you're wanting to just ruin all that. Take that away from people. Why? Because you're scared of losing your world buffs? No. Go play on Peggle and you don't have to worry about it. It's that simple. Like, why would you take all of that content, all of that world PvP out? Because there's no point to it anymore. There's no point to us gathering our raid together and going out and trying to wipe the enemy's raids because it doesn't do anything anymore. You get my point? Like, I don't... Like, if you're that worried about losing your world buffs, go play on Peggle. It's really, like, I don't know. Like, it's that simple.
Transmog to your heart's content. And there are achievements tied to Transmog. I think that's actually...
Yeah, people want the benefits with no downside, and they could get the exact same thing on Peggle. Like, they want they want all their non-PvP-ness or whatever to be applied to PvP servers. It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing as the people that crybaby about people having priests and shamans and stuff like that in Orgrimmar and Stormwind. Guess what? If you hearth back to Stormwind after you get your world buffs, you're an idiot, and that's your mistake. Stop saying Peggle. Why? That's where you should be playing. Peggle, 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 Peggle. Like, if you hearth back to... That's part of a PvP server. If you hearth back to town while your PvP flag's still, and you get your buffs purged and stuff like that, that is your fault. You don't... It's not being mad at some cheap ass who's got a level 20 shaman. No, you're an idiot. You hearth back to town knowing that this occurs all the time. When it's such an easy mechanic to get around and make sure that you still have your world buffs when you arrive in town. It's really simple. But the PvEers are like, I don't want to have to do that. You know, like, it's like, seriously, man. Stop trying to change PvP servers to like, be better for your, for PvEers. Like, just stop doing it. Go play on a PvE server. They're there for a reason. But you know what the problem is? You have too many PvEers that are like, you know what? I don't want to tell people that I play on Peggle. I don't want to tell people that I play on Peggle. When people ask me where I play, I don't want to be embarrassed and say I play on Peggle. I want to say I play on Fairlina. I want to say I play on a PvP server. That's the whole problem. That's the whole problem, is people not admitting to where they should be playing. Just if you're that uptight about losing your world buffs, go play on Peggle. I'm not going to make fun of you for it. Hell, StaysafeTV's a good friend of mine. He plays on Peggle. He even said in one of his videos that, hey, I'm just kind of tired of the, I'm kind of over all this sort of stuff, blah, blah, blah type of thing. All the respect in the world for him. You know what? I have more respect for him than people that play on PvP servers that are actually PvEers that then sit there and complain about it.
Kind of cool. But the way Transmog worked in Cata, you actually had to have the gear in your bank or in your bag in order to transmog it. So if you had a favorite transmog set, let's say you want to always be looking like a tier 6 paladin, you had to always have the entire tier 6 paladin set in your bank or in your bag. Otherwise, you would never be able to transmog back to it when you got a new...
How do you guys feel about transmogs, honestly? How do you guys feel about transmogs?
Pair of shoulders or something, and you want it, yeah. So it was kind of annoying, and it took up a lot of bank space, and yeah, or I don't remember if there was void storage in Cata.
I'm not a big fan of transmogs. And keep in mind, I got my start in streaming by being a transmog farmer. I know that's kind of hypocritical. That's just how I made my gold. I did have transmogs on all my characters and stuff like that. But one of the things that I like about Classic is that you can look at someone and say, this is what he's done in the game, type of thing, right? Like, look at this guy. This guy's a fully decked out Nax warrior.
I think that's when they added void storage, but it's like still, it was just kind of clunky. It was kind of annoying anyway.
Six, are you still here? Or are you mad at me now? Are you sick? Are you mad? You can tell that I get really, really like angry when people come in and start, I want to change PvP and on private servers when they should just be on PvE.
Can I get out of this? The next thing was, okay, next series of questions. How interested would you be in playing the next Classic expansion based on each of the following features? If you need to be reminded of what this feature is, hover over the feature for the definition. Changes to player versus player arena, and it's on a scale of very interested to very uninterested. Changes to professions, raid finder, minor quality of life changes, 7 new...
If we were to go with Classic Plus, would you guys have a problem with them bringing in arenas for Classic Plus? Without any changes to the actual class, no trying to balance classes or anything like that around arenas. But would you guys be okay if they brought in arenas? I would even say no gear. Or maybe gear, but maybe it would be along the lines of like the same stuff that you got in Battlegrounds. Like, would you guys be okay with them bringing in arenas if you got basically the same gear that you got out of Battlegrounds?
New zones, rated battleground systems, collections user interface, class design changes, dungeon journal, guild advancement system, account-wide mounts and pets. So they're asking, like, imagine I'm an imaginary person. Oh wow, okay, I really like account-wide mounts and pets. I'm gonna say very interested. Oh, but I don't like the guild advancement system. I'm gonna say very uninterested. And so you can see, like, if enough people hated, based on this survey, the guild advancement system, maybe when Cata comes out, they wouldn't have the guild advancement system. If people universally liked the dungeon journal, okay, they keep the dungeon journal.
Yeah, the classic tournaments that they had during classic were fun. Like the ones that Tips put out and stuff like that were absolutely phenomenal. Very well done. It was really cool that it was community driven as well. Not so much Blizzard.
And then they see, oh, well, okay, everyone hated, very uninterested with the Raid Finder. Okay, maybe this time we don't have Raid Finder, right? So that's the point of the survey. Another series of questions: archaeology, questing and leveling, 5 new raids, level cap increase. So everything we just read, they're asking now for what your opinion is of it on a scale of what is essentially 1 to 5. Comparing features added in Classic Cata. This section of the survey asks the user to rate various features and additions in Cata Classic with one another, likely trying to figure out what the most well-liked and least liked changes from Classic Cata players would prefer. Please select the feature you liked most and which you liked least as it relates to World of Warcraft Classic Cataclysm.
Okay, so for me, least, or archaeology least, questing and leveling changes, kind of neutral, rated battlegrounds most. Now, when they say minor quality of life changes, they're not talking about Raid Finder, right? Because that's not a minor one. That's a pretty major one. If they're including that, then I would say least.
Archaeology, secondary profession, most, least. Questing, leveling changes, most, least. Rated battleground system, most, least. They're really trying to get like a lot of data on this. They're really doing their due diligence. You know what's weird? So they're just like reframing the question now in a different way to get it. I've never been sent one of these emails. Have you guys in chat?
I've been sent these emails a couple of times, but I didn't get one for this Cataclysm one.
Here, because we're doing this live. Have you guys ever gotten one of these survey emails from Blizzard asking what your opinion is? Just give me a quick yes or no. No, no, never, no, yes, no. I haven't. I don't know how they decide. Maybe they have some formula. Maybe it's just completely random. Some of you guys have. It looks like maybe 20% of you have, 80% have not. Maybe 10, 90. Anyway, most people have not. Okay. Or maybe they just don't value my opinion. If you said no, then Blizzard has algorithmically decided that they don't care what your opinion is, maybe. So this is the most or least, reframing all of that content. We went through this. Here's a new thing. Which of the following features would make you most interested in playing the next classic expansion? If you need to be reminded. So, and then it's, okay, so.
See, the way that they're wording these questions is it's obvious that they've already made the decision that they're going to go with Cataclysm, because they're basically just saying, okay, we're going to do Cataclysm with changes. That's essentially all the survey is. They've already, like, that's all the survey is we're going to do Cataclysm. What kind of changes are we going to make to it, basically, to make it popular?
So they're asking the same.
Hold on. Is there, hold on, which make you most interested? Is there one where,
question 3 times pretty much.
Like, I don't want them to change the zones
with a little bit different, in a different format. So they're doing the same thing.
How many people here put a 1 in chat if you would rather play Cataclysm Classic than Vanilla Classic again? I'm just curious, because 65, 75 viewers in chat. Put a 1 in chat if you would rather play Cataclysm Classic. Yeah, Fiddy again goes against the grain, but we have anyone that would rather play. Nobody at all would rather play Cataclysm than Vanilla. Like, those are, let's say those are your only 2 options: Cataclysm or fresh Vanilla. Nobody. Ziggy says, I started playing in Cata and I don't want to go back. Hold on, dude. I gotta like screenshot that, because so nobody. We got nobody of the, roughly 75 people that are watching. Not one person How many of you would, okay, put ones in chat if you would play Fresh Vanilla again. Put one in chat if you play Fresh Vanilla again. I mean, a lot of you guys are relatively new. We've even got a new first-time chat as well. Like, a lot of you I don't even really know, like, on a personal level, so it's kind of like I'm not positive which way it would go. But, I mean, even with people that are, like, I'm not very familiar with, you're all saying Fresh Vanilla. And I get it. You know, 60 to 75 people in my chat right now, that's a fairly small sample size. But people watch my stream that are interested in classic content. Right, and these are the people that are playing Wrath of the Lich King. These are the type of people I would like to see Stay Safe do what I just did and see what his numbers would be like. It would be kind of interesting. Anyways, we'll carry on.
Thing again. You selected transmogrification. What about this feature makes you most interested in playing the next classic? So you can explain why. Oh, I really love transmog.
The fuck just happened?
Next classic expansion. If you need to be reminded. So, and then it's, okay, so they're asking the same question 3 times pretty much with a little bit different, in a different format. So they're doing the same thing again. You selected transmogrification. What about this feature makes you most interested in playing the next classic? So you can explain why. Oh, I really love transmog. Here's why. I'm going to write a 50-page essay on why I love transmog. Here you go, Blizzard. Okay, so that's how they're doing it this time. Same thing. You selected Raid Finder. Here's a 50-page essay on why I really love Raid Finder. I love it. Okay, they're just like, get it. You know, they're gathering this information in 3 different.
So far, I haven't seen anything about. Questions, is there anything else you'd rather do than
this section of the survey asks
they've already
the
made
user
their decision
to choose their favorite color. Depending on the answer, they likely receive a different ending to the survey. Apparently, choosing the color green will lead to a survey about thoughts on a Cata classic with absolutely no changes. In these screenshots, the user chooses the color black, asking about a Cata classic with significant changes. So,
let's try black.
To break it to you guys, Blizzard does not give a shit about what your favorite color is. They're just using it as a filtering tool to...
Basically.
It's like a prompt to get you to a different version of the essay or of the questionnaire. But Blizzard actually does not give a shit if you like blue or green. It's just a way to filter you guys, to break you up. They're using it to turn us against each other. Okay, please read the description below carefully as you will be asked questions on your interest in and opinion on playing the next World of Warcraft Classic expansion based on the concept you are being shown. Following the final patch of Wrath of the Lich King Classic, continue into Cataclysm, where the Breaker of Worlds, Deathwing, has burst forth from the heart of the Maelstrom, transforming Azeroth. The game will release as it was in 2010, with some changes that may enhance and update the gameplay experience. Key features: retain some pre-Cataclysm features that were streamlined or simplified, exclude the looking for raid feature, increase level cap to 85, include 2 new races, Worgens and Goblins. So this is like one of the hypothetical endings or hypothetical list of changes based on the color you chose. What one word would you use to describe this concept?
Mine starts with an SH.
Chat.
Yeah, okay, I want to see what chat says, but mine starts with an SH. Chat, what does yours say? Use what one word would you use to describe the concept for Cataclysm Classic? Go. Everyone go. What would you describe as your thoughts on playing Cataclysm Classic? Let
me change it a little bit. Give me one.
I should see more spam than in his chat. He's got 20. I think he had around 2,500 viewers today.
One word to describe how you feel about Cataclysm. Give me one word.
Yeah, here we go. Look at this. Look, all of his chat is the same as mine. Look at this.
I'm not even gonna read any of these. I'm just gonna
okay, we have one person that said acceptable, but nobody actually looks like they're even happy about it.
There. Yep, good, great. Okay, cool. There we go. Based on this description, how likely are you to subscribe to play World of Warcraft Cataclysm Classic? Definitely, probably, maybe. You wouldn't. Okay. What specifically about this concept for World of Warcraft Classic?
Okay, those of you that are still playing, how many of you are canceling your World of Warcraft account if they go to Cataclysm? Put a 1 in chat if you're going to cancel your account and possibly go play a private server instead.
Say that you probably would play the game. They're really trying to extract as much data in this survey as they possibly can. They're reframing the same question multiple times. And they're also asking, presumably there's like 7 or 8 different versions of Classic Cata that they are floating with varying degrees of changes. And they're going to see which one is the most preferred.
You've had your account active for too long. You know what? The very first time I ever canceled my World of Warcraft account was during Cataclysm. I was a day 1 subscriber. I've actually shown it on stream where like I was a day 1 subscriber from November 2004. I actually played beta, and I had an active account all the way through Wrath of the Lich King until about 6 months into Cata, and that was the first time that I said, "No, I'm done." And I played every expansion since then until Shadowlands came out. So,
right? Yeah, they're really digging here. They're really digging. Which of the following statements best describes what you think about this concept for World of Warcraft Classic Cata? Okay. Which of the following ways would you describe this concept for World of Warcraft Classic Cata? Underwhelming.
Boring. Hold on. I mean, they've got, hold on, underwhelming. Underwhelming's
unique,
in there
sounds
too.
complicated. Not for people like me. For gaming enthusiasts, boring, interesting, challenging, action-packed, good way to pass time, fun. For people like me, been done before. For casual gamers, too easy to play, high quality, none of the above. Okay. Okay. A lot of these are the same. Which of the following most likely aligns with what you would want as the next expansion of
Wait, hold on. Which of the following most closely aligns with what would you want as the next expansion of Classic after Wrath of the Lich King? Focus on Cataclysm, next expansion would focus on New Season Mastery, and Class Burning Stage, Wrath of the Lich King. The next expansion would focus on... There's nothing here about vanilla. There's literally nothing here about vanilla, and like literally 99% of the people that I talk to, they want to go back to and play vanilla. They're itching to go back and play vanilla. And it's not even an option. None of the above, I guess, would be the option.
Classic after Wrath of the Lich King.
They don't even give it... You know what? I think that they're so scared of the actual answer, they did not give it. Because I think if they'd put replay from Classic Vanilla, because I think that's what a lot of people expected, was when they came out with Vanilla and then TBC, and they were going to run the thing, everybody was saying that they thought that they were just going to go back and rinse and repeat and do it over and over and over again. They don't even have that as an option here. And you know why I think that is? Because I think that they're actually just scared of what the answer would be. I honestly think that's the case. They don't want to see that answer. That like 80% of the people that responded said fresh vanilla. And I don't know why. Like, think about it from a company's point of view. If you were operating in a company and you knew that 85% or whatever of the people want to go back and play a version of the game that you've already developed, you don't have to spend any money on. You basically just have to wipe the servers, restart them, and go. Like, it's going to cost the company essentially pennies. Like, why would you not want to know that? If overwhelmingly people said, no, you know what? We want to play the product that has already been developed and it doesn't cost you a cent. I'd want to know that as a CEO of a company. I would definitely want to know that.
The next expansion would focus on Cataclysm.
Exactly, John. That's exactly what they're throwing in our face. You think you do, but you don't. They're not even giving you that option. And it is so arrogant of them to like not even give you the option, because I think that they're scared, but they're telling themselves, they don't want to play. They don't want to play vanilla again.
Without any changes, the next expansion would focus on a new season of Mastering Classic, Burning Crusade Classic, or Wrath of the Lich King Classic. The next...
Sorry, where are you looking at here? I don't see anything where they talk about vanilla here. They don't talk about vanilla at all. They're talking about a next expansion would focus on a new season of Mastery and Classic, like a new season of Mastery in these versions here. And come on, we saw what happened when they developed Season of Mastery for vanilla. It was an absolute bomb, like absolute bomb. But they don't even give people the option to choose fresh vanilla.
This expansion would focus on Classic on
second line. Hold on. So the next expansion would focus on a new season of mastery in classic, like season mastery, Burning Crusade, season mastery, Wrath of the Lich King. That's what they're saying there. It would be like season mastery that they had that was terrible that nobody played.
On Cataclysm with some changes to the original release. I have no idea, or none of the above. There you go. That's the survey. I'll tell you. Here's my Nostradamus prediction, okay? I think that when...
Hey, before he makes his, I'm going to repeat what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to come out with Cataclysm because, well, two things. One, Blizzard is so arrogant and out of touch with what what the people actually want. Like the classic community would want to go back and play vanilla. Players that are more retail, like they're more fans of retail, I think that they would probably be okay with just going to Cataclysm. But I think their core base of players would prefer to go back and play vanilla. I think Blizzard, because they're so arrogant, they're going to just proceed with Cataclysm. And I think it's going to absolutely bomb. I think it will absolutely bomb. It'll be way worse than TBC as far as numbers go, like not even close. Like not even coming close to Wrath of the Lich King, obviously. But it will absolutely bomb. And I think that there will be somebody who launches a private server, a vanilla private server, and I want them to do it on the exact same day. So White Kidney, if you're out there, if you're watching my video, I know you've got a new expansion coming out, or a new private server coming out in November, apparently. Please have your next one come out the same day as Cataclysm. I'm begging you, because it would be like a swift kick in the nuts for Blizzard, because the private server would probably just do tremendously well. If they don't come up with fresh vanilla, private servers will be on the rise again. I'm telling you that much right now. Private servers will be enormous again.
Classic Wrath ends, I think this is like a very safe bet. Classic Wrath servers will move on to Classic Cata servers. I think there will be some changes in Classic Cata. Those changes probably being updates to the Transmog system, like retail style updates to Transmog. I imagine we won't have Raid Finder, which was added when Dragon Soul came out anyway, which was like the second half of Cata. I think we're also going to have Classic Wrath, what are they called? Stasis servers. What is it called for vanilla? Era. I think we'll have Wrath of Lich King Classic Era servers, where if you want to keep on playing Classic Wrath, you can keep on playing Classic Wrath Era. They didn't do that for TBC because no one likes TBC. But there is a small community of Classic Vanilla Era players that are still playing. They're still doing Nax. They're still doing Nax speedruns. They're farming their T3 gear. They're farming rank 14. Still to this day. And what's weird is that if you look at the
let's be honest. Again, now, obviously I'm a vanilla fanboy. There's very few people playing on Classic Era. Like, we can log on to it right after we're done this. There's very few people actually playing Classic Era. In fact, we will do this. When I stop recording the video, I will log on to a Classic Era server. We'll run into Orgrimmar or wherever. You guys can tell me where it should be busiest, which side, Alliance, Horde, and we'll find out. But I don't think it's that busy. And it's a Saturday around noon. There should be players.
Server scene. There are Wrath of Lich King servers that have been on ICC patch for like 7 years. And still people and they're very popular, mind you. These are very popular Wrath of Lich King private servers. Like thousands of people playing every single day. They just do ICC. They make new characters. They do ICC. It's in fact, historically in the private server scene, Wrath servers have always been the most popular servers. Wrath, outside of like a couple months of nostalgia.
I don't think that's true. I know that they've been popular, but I think like the big vanilla private servers have been the most popular. But I could be wrong. But I think the big Nostalrius, Northdale, Lights Hope, I think those were the most popular, I think. But I know Wrath was really popular as well.
Nostalrius, when Nostalrius was at its peak before it shut down, Wrath was always more popular than vanilla. It's more popular.
You know what? I just this is something that I've thought about in my head before. It would be kind of interesting to start a community kind of drive on a Classic Era realm, where we basically just started fresh characters, started a new guild, and just went at it. You know, just started going and seeing if we could get enough of a community effort to actually have people start off fresh. nobody with like gold transfer to them, none of any of that stuff. We started off with like basically nothing and just treated it like a fresh vanilla launch or something like that. I know it's not the same. Like, I'm not trying to pretend it would be the same, but in all honesty, if they didn't come out with fresh vanilla, I think I would play that before I would play Cataclysm.
More than vanilla right now in the private server scene.
But I wouldn't play that either because I'm going to play private servers if they don't.
TBC was always never really popular at all, but Wrath private servers are really always have been really popular. So I imagine that there will be a lot of people that want to play Wrath era in a year and a half or 2 years from now. They're going to want to keep farming Shadowmourne on their Death Knight. They're going to want to keep farming ICC 25. They're going to want to keep farming achievements. I think a lot of people are going to want to do that 2 years from now. Yeah, definitely. So I think we're going to have a similar thing. It'll be similar to how Classic Vanilla ended a year and a half ago. I think current Classic Wrath will move on to Classic Cata. I think we'll also have Classic Wrath era servers. And I think at the same time, I think they're also going to restart the trilogy. I think they will also announce fresh Classic Vanilla servers as they were 3 years ago.
So you know what they might do is they might have already decided, you know what? We know, could you imagine Blizzard actually making the decision that, hey, we know that Classic Vanilla is by far the most popular. Maybe they've already made the decision that they are going to have vanilla. That could possibly be the case. Blizzard being Blizzard, though, I just don't. I'll believe it when I see it. I hope that's the case. Just have rolling vanilla launches. You could probably like once every 16 months. Just have them relaunch, right? And just keep doing it over and over and over again. The trilogy is their winning move, exactly. If they went back into vanilla and then kept going through like TBC and Wrath, I might keep playing. But if they go into Cataclysm, I'm done. I'm out. Like I'm just not interested.
And they're going to restart all of it over again. So you'll have 3 options. I think
I don't see Blizzard's splitting the community that much. Like I get it. There's a lot of players, but there's not. I don't know that there's enough to split 3 ways. They would have to really tread carefully there. For like your fresh vanilla servers, you're obviously not going to have it. What was there, like 40 something when vanilla originally launched? You're not going to have that. You're maybe going to start with, I'm just throwing a number out there, maybe 10. And if they're splitting it 3 ways, so there's Cataclysm, which again I think is going to be an absolute disaster for Blizzard. It's hardly going to be anyone playing. I think it'll be as bad or worse than Season of Mastery. Like I think it'll actually be that bad.
That's my expectation. But hey, we got to see. But no, what is surprising about this is that they are already probing. They're already asking. They're already trying to get information about Classic Cata. They're getting information about Classic Cata way sooner than they asked us for our input on Classic TBC or on Classic Wrath.
Yeah, think about that. Like Wrath hasn't even come out yet, and they're already surveying this stuff.
They're doing this like a year and a half early. They're really getting a head start on this. So, I don't know. To a certain degree, Blizzard has embraced Classic, right? It's good to see. I think obviously Cataclysm is kind of a no-brainer in some regard. Like what happens after Wrath? Well, Cataclysm. Maybe some additional stuff too, like Wrath era, or a restart of the cycle of the trilogy. But yeah, Cataclysm. We're gonna get Cataclysm in some way, in some form, with some degree of changes. We will be playing Cataclysm. Well, you might not be, but they're gonna offer it.
No, the pre-patch is live, Apollos, but the Wrath doesn't come out till next week, or a week and a half from now. You know what I think would actually be really funny? Yeah, restart and do vanilla would be the best. You know what I think would be really funny is if they decided to have Cataclysm and vanilla restart at the same time, just to show the numbers, to see how incredibly popular the fresh vanilla servers would be compared to Cataclysm. Like I think it would actually be hilarious to see how busy those servers were. If Cata was the beginning of the end, I know. It definitely was.
I hope you played at least. Yeah. Anyway, cool. That's the big news of the day. Hey, listen. Make sure to go buy some Power Gum. Check the description of the video below.
I will second that. Go buy some Power Gum. I've had Power Gum before. I went through 6 packs. It is actually very good gum, and it actually does work. It doesn't give you like a kick of energy like a Red Bull does, but it definitely is it's like a wake up. Like there's times when I'd be like, kind of like a little tired. This would just kind of give you that like little burst of energy, but it wasn't like a Red Bull where it just kicked your ass, you ran through a wall, and then like an hour and a half later you crashed and you went to sleep. So this Power Gum stuff is actually really good.
You should like it. Let me comment and let us all know what you think about Classic Cata. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Oh.
Anyways, for those of you that are watching on the on YouTube, again, comment down below. Would you rather play Fresh Vanilla or Cataclysm? Let me know in the comments below. I think I made it pretty clear which one I was. I get a little heated when it comes to this discussion because I get really kind of ticked off when people start wanting to make changes, or suggest that Blizzard should make changes because we've seen what they've done. Goodbye. You're leaving? I'm not going anywhere yet. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just saying goodbye to the YouTube audience. Super T says, I want classic Azeroth, but Cata class changes for some reason. Oh, you want classic? Oh, I would definitely want classic Azeroth. But that's not going to happen, I don't think. So, anyways, that's it for this video. If you're watching on YouTube, the links to StaySafe's video will be down below. Please go down and click on the link. Give him a like on his video, as we always do. And if you like my commentary for my video, please do me a favor, like and subscribe to my channel. Really does help with the algorithm. You can also talk to me on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Alodar. The link for that will also be down below. I stream 6 days a week. Actually, it's been 7 for like the last 2 months, 7 days a week. But anyways, I stream 6 days a week from Tuesday through Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So, and till really late. Like right now, it's noon. It's noon Eastern. That's how long we've been going for. So anyways, talk to you guys later. See you guys again in the next video, and take care.